Oh, where do I even begin with Hardin Simmons University, Abilene? It is like stepping into a nightmare wrapped in the thinnest veneer of Christian virtue, a place where the air itself smells of broken promises and the walls whisper lies. Let me tell you, my darlings, this is not just a school, it is a factory of disappointment, a monument to administrative incompetence, and a masterclass in how to fail at every single thing you attempt. First, let us talk about the administration, because oh, what a joke they are. Imagine needing any help at Allen being met with the blank, soulless stare of someone who would rather be anywhere else. That is Hardin Simmons for you. They do not respond, they do not care. They are like ghosts drifting through the halls, leaving behind nothing but confusion and frustration. And financial aid, a nightmare wrapped in red tape designed to make you weep. You will beg for answers and they will give you silence. You will plead for clarity and they will give you more forms to fill out. It is a game and you are losing before you even start. Now the campus, oh the campus. It is like walking into a time capsule of neglect. The buildings are old, but not in a charming, historic way, no. They are old in the way that makes you wonder if the ceiling will collapse on you mid-lecture. The dorms, cramped, musty, and falling apart. The walls are thin, the floors creak, and the showers alternate between scalding you alive or freezing you solid. And do not even get me started on the food. The cafeteria serves what can only be described as punishment disguised as meals. Lukewarm, flavorless, and occasionally questionable in origin. You will leave hungry not just for food but for dignity. But the worst part, the hypocrisy, oh the sweet, sweet hypocrisy. They preach Christian values but what they really mean is conformity. Step out of line, disagree, have an opinion that does not match their carefully curated propaganda, you will be silenced. They will discipline you for speaking facts, for daring to question, for existing outside their narrow worldview. Free speech, only if it aligns with their agenda. The Bible, only the parts they like. The rest is ignored in favor of whatever social trend they can latch onto for clout. And let us talk about the professors. Some are gems, bright, passionate, actually invested in your education, but most disinterested, unprepared, going through the motions like they too are counting the seconds until they can escape. The classes are small, not because they value intimate learning, but because they have to trick students into staying. The education is mediocre at best, a hollow shell of what it promises to be. The social life, non-existent unless you fit into their very specific, very judgmental mold. If you do not conform, you will be isolated. The rules are absurd, treating grown adults like misbehaving children. It is stifling, oppressive, a place where individuality goes to die, and do not even get me started on campus safety. Walking at night feels less like a stroll and more like a horror movie where you are the expendable side character. The lights flicker, the shadows move, and the security nowhere to be found. This, my loves, is Hardin Simmons University, Abilene, a place that takes your money, your time, and your hope, and gives you nothing in return.
Welcome, travelers and curious minds, to our detailed exploration of the business landscape surrounding the esteemed Hardin Simmons University in the heart of Abilene. As we embark on this journey, prepare to navigate through a tapestry of experiences, each as unique as the institutions that call this vibrant city home. But like any intrepid explorer, one must be forewarned of the terrain that lies ahead. In the shadow of academia, businesses strive to capture the essence of service and satisfaction. However, our investigation reveals a portrait not of consistent excellence, but of a patchwork quilt with threads of discontent woven through the fabric of customer experience. Let us first step into the world of aesthetic enhancement, where Hendrick Plastic Surgery MedSpa promises the allure of transformation. Yet the reflection in the mirror is not always what one expects. With a trail of dissatisfied patrons, the spa seems to have mastered the art of financial retention rather than customer contentment. Cancellation policies as rigid as a freshly Botoxed brow have left some clients feeling more deflated than the implants they may have sought. It's a place where dreams of rejuvenation might just wrinkle under the weight of unexpected charges and brusque bedside manners. Venturing forth, we stumble upon Abuelo's Mexican restaurant, a locale that stirs the appetite with the promise of south-of-the-border flavors. Alas, the grand platter often falls short of its grandiose name, delivering dishes that seem to have lost their way somewhere between authenticity and expectation. The culinary journey here is fraught with overcooked expectations and underwhelming servings, leaving one to ponder if the abuelo in question may have indeed turned in his grave, dishonored by the mass-produced offerings served in his name. As the sun dips below the horizon, the Front Porch Coffee Company beckons with the aroma of freshly brewed Java, Yet, the warmth of the coffee does little to thaw the chill of service that seems to have left its hospitality at the door. With a penchant for closing kitchens promptly at 2 p.m. and a mysterious 3 additional charge, this coffee haven often leaves a bitter aftertaste, reminding us that not all beans are meant for grinding. For those seeking the sanctity of nuptial bliss, the Mill event venue offers a picturesque backdrop for matrimonial celebrations. However, beneath the veneer of rustic charm lies a labyrinth of service gaffes and alcoholic ambiguity. The venue's coordinators keep a watchful eye, but it seems they watch more like hawks circling their prey than guardians of joyous occasions. The promise of a memorable event is often marred by the reality of subpar service and a cash bar that might just leave you feeling, well, cash-strapped. In the realm of floral whimsy, the arrangement should be a bouquet of delight. Yet, the petals of expectation often wilt in the face of unyielding staff and a penchant for the unavailable. The quest for the perfect bloom here is akin to searching for a four-leaf clover in a field of daisies, a rare find amidst a sea of commonality. Finally, we arrive at the winery at Willow Creek, a place where the grapes are pressed with hope and the glasses are filled with anticipation. But like a fine wine left too long in the barrel, the experience can turn sour with irregular hours and a website that navigates like a ship lost at sea. The wines, overly sweet or underwhelmingly dry, leave the palate yearning for a sip of something more refined. In conclusion, travelers to the area surrounding Hardin Simmons University, Abilene, must tread with caution. The businesses here, each with their own unique blend of shortcomings, serve as a reminder that even in the bustling heart of a college town, perfection is a rare vintage.
As you wander the streets of Abilene, may you find the gems that shine amidst the rough, those rare establishments that rise above the fray to offer an experience as enriching as the education that flourishes within the university's hallowed halls. Remember, dear wanderer, that while not all that glitters is gold, there are treasures to be found for those who dare to look beyond there.
So I was looking into crimes near Hardin Simmons University, Abilene, because I want to make sure tourists are safe when they come to visit. And oh boy, I found some pretty scary stuff. Businesses near Hardin Simmons University, Abilene are like, you would think they ray normal, but no, they ray not. They ray like super sketchy. Like, have you ever heard of card skimmer devices? Yeah, those things are everywhere here. They were found at like 10 different gas stations and convenience stores around Abilene. Can you believe that? So these devices, they ray like, installed on the fuel pumps and registers, and they steal your credit card information. And like, the victims wouldn't even know what is happening until they see these weird charges on their accounts. It is so sad, The police found them at 2 Allsup S locations, one on the 2300 block of S 14th Street and another on the 2300 block of Barrow Street. I predict that the victims were probably like, totally devastated when they found out. I mean, who wouldn't be? And like, the police were investigating these cases as fraud and credit card abuse, which is like, super